Hey everybody, it's Jamie from Plum Island Sea Cabin, and I am happy because we are at the beach. Very cold out, but we're bundled, so it's okay. So we're about a week and a half after the storm, and I am hoping to find some of those blue and black storm shells that might have gotten kicked up. I'm not expecting to find much, but I'm hoping there's a few stragglers left out there for us. But before we get down there on the beach, there's something really cool I want to show you. So this is a section called Joppa Flats. And what I really like about this section in the winter is look at all those ice chunks out there. It's really crazy. You can see all that ice moving through the water. So it's just a really cool section on the way to the beach that I wanted to share with you because it is beautiful, and especially with the way the sun is hitting the ice this morning. But no more time for this. We have to hit the beach. We have to go get the rest of those storm shells. So let's go. I do love me a stormy ocean. There's no better way to churn those big shells up from the bottom. So we made it onto the beach. It is cold and it is windy. We are trying a different section today to see if we have any luck with those storm shells. So let's see what we can find. I'm gonna try to keep warm. I have my gloves today. I have some hand warmers and I have my thermals on and some sweatshirts and my jacket and a scarf and a hat. So let's see what we can find in this new section, and good luck to us. Good stuff that washed up down here. Looks like there's a really good storm shell here. Wow, look at the colors. I love that. Whew. Just made it. The ocean brought it up right to me. Look at the colors on this. Look at the blues in that. Ah, I love it. I get so jazzed when I find a moon snail that has these markings and the blue in it and the browns. And it's definitely a good size. It's a good storm shell. It is very beautiful, but we are actually going to leave it here at the beach for a nice little hermit crab to maybe have an upgrade to its shell. So we'll leave that here, but it is very beautiful and a very good find. And I was very excited to find it. Good shell. New hermit crab home for rent. Ooh, look at this. Nice deep blues and tans. Look at the color and the shell. It may be little, but it is packed with color and interesting markings. And it looks like another predatory snail tried to get through the shell there, but didn't succeed. But that is a gorgeous moon snail. It's really beautiful. It's another really great moon snail. Look at the blues in that. So pretty. I love those colors. See what other shells we can find. There is a lot of things washing up. You can see the drop off there, and the water is pushing up all the shells to this new rack line that's getting created. But down here there's a very cute little clam with a lot of great coloring in it. So look at that. Look at the way the coloring is around the outer edge. I usually like to find the big shells. I get super excited and really stoked when I find the big shells. But when I find the small ones sometimes, when they're really interesting like this, it's very exciting. So a lot of people ask me how cold it is at the beach when I come. It's this cold. It is this cold. But I absolutely love it. Today is a frozen beach shell adventure. It is this cold today. And someone did ask me one time if it's salty, the water that freezes, because technically salt water does not freeze because of the salt content in it. But I did actually look at one time, and it is fresh water, so it must be the fresh water in the salt water content that freezes. But even when it freezes, it doesn't freeze to like a hard ice. Generally, it's usually the stuff that breaks apart. But you know it's winter when you do find these frozen shells at the beach, encased in ice from the ocean. Crazy, insane, frozen surf clams. Post-blizzard shelling does not disappoint. I stand corrected. I just licked this one. It is salty. There is salt content in the water that's freezing. I thought it was maybe the fresh water mixed in with the salt water that was freezing, but it is salty. Don't do this at home. Don't lick salty frozen shells at the beach. I am not recommending that. It's a really cool banded dog whelk. We will add this to our jar. Very cool. I'm really loving the dog whelks this winter. Let's see what other ones we can find. So this is actually how windy it is today. You can see the snow and the sand blowing across the beach. It actually stings a little bit when it hits you. So it's a good tip if you're out here on a cold winter's day and you see this coming towards you, you might want to turn your back to it. It does sting a little bit when it hits your skin. The dunes are snow-capped all the way down the beach line. It's so beautiful. Definitely reminds me of the top of a latte. Nice frothy latte at the beach. That would be nice and warm right now. I can totally go for that. So we're coming up on what appears to be a lobster trap. What's interesting is I'm going to put a link to it in the description for this video. But I read an article that there's a lobsterman in Gloucester who's always pulling up seahorses off of the lobster traps. So I find that very interesting. So I always walk by the lobster traps and I give them a little bit of a look. But he said that the seahorses are actually drawn to the lobster traps because of the bait traps. So I am going to take more of a look at the lobster traps as we pass them from now on, because they seem to wrap themselves or entangle themselves around where the bait trap is inside the lobster trap. So that would be amazing if we were to find a seahorse, because you know how we're always looking for one. That would be amazing if we ever found one on a lobster trap. But we also have to make sure we don't get wet. Whew. That was a close one. Very close. but my feet are still dry. Let's see if we can get a better look at this thing without getting wasted. I don't know, I don't trust myself. But I can see how that can happen with a seahorse and a lobster trap, because they hold on to things with their tails. I do not see anything on this one, and I'm afraid we're going to get wet, so we're going to have to abort this mission. But any other lobster traps coming up, we will definitely check them out, because we will find that seahorse. Looks like there's a buoy coming up down here. Nice lobster buoy here. Lobsterman John Foot. You're missing your buoy. Another nice buoy. Very New England day at the beach today, with all the lobster traps washing up and buoys. It's a very nice blue mussel. And I love the way the sun is hitting the outside of the shell. It's causing a rainbow effect on it. It's so beautiful. So even when there's not a lot of things on the beach, there's always something very cool to appreciate with nature. I love that. Got a few little beach stalkers here. They are super speedy, almost like they have a plane to catch. Look at how fast they are. Crazy. Nice to have company on my little beach walk. Check out the size of this barnacle. I'm obsessed with barnacles. But that's a pretty good size one. I love these because I can stare at them all day. Look at all the lines and the markings and the etchings and the patterns. And the size of this barnacle is pretty good. Usually I don't find them that big, but this is a blue mussel. And I'm not sure if you've watched my previous videos. A couple videos ago, I did a video on blue mussels and also horse mussels, and why when I find these, they usually are covered with a large amount of barnacle. So if you have a chance, go back a couple videos ago and take a look at that. It is interesting. They produce byssus, which is a golden fabric-y thread that is actually, it clumps things together. It sticks to things like rocks and other mussels and a lot of substrate on the ocean floor. So both horse mussels and blue mussels do this. But they are very fascinating. So if you do have a chance to go back and watch that video, I do recommend it. But this is a very cool find. We'll leave that here. But it's one of my favorite things to find on the Plum Island beaches. Thanks for shelling with me today, guys. Hopefully next time we hit a bigger score. Maybe a jackpot day, we don't know. But that's what keeps us coming back. So thanks for shelling with me, and I'll see you next time we hit the beach. Bye.